That's it. Okay, let's get started. My name is Ivan. Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to see all of you here. To be honest, this is my first offline meetup since 2020, and I'm really excited to be here. Yes, thank you. And I hope that all of us are familiar with these abbreviations, SDET and QAA. And today I will raise the question, what is the difference between software developer in test and QA automation engineer? And first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Varivoda. I graduated from St. Petersburg State University in 2016, and I joined Wrike in 2017. I started as QA automation engineer, and right now I'm technical leader at Wrike. I work with improving tooling, test frameworks, and etc. And also I love beach volleyball and riding motorbikes here in mountains. They are beautiful. And first of all, I would like to ask you, who have ever heard this statement that QA is the easiest entry point into IT? Please raise your hands. Okay, nice. Who agrees? Who agrees? Okay. Okay, I see. And one more statement, that QA automation is the previous step before development. Please raise your hands who have ever heard this statement. Not so many. I'm really happy about it. And who agrees? Okay, I see you guys. So, to be honest, I also will try to explain why, from my perspective of view, this statement isn't true. And I will do it via telling of my story. So in 2015, 2016, I was graduating from St. Petersburg State University. To be honest, I didn't have any plans for my future. I just had some knowledge about math. I loved coding a lot, and I had no idea what QA automation or software developer in tests is. I just wanted to get my first job, find my first job, and receive some money. That's it. In 2016, I found my first internship. Big thanks to my university, it wasn't really difficult, and I started working as QA automation intern. Guys from my first company, they told me that this area isn't really complicated. You just need to automate some scenarios and you will receive money. So that's it. For me, I agreed, and I started working as QA automation engineer. And I still didn't have any expectations about this role, about this area. It was something new for me. Time was passing, and in 2016, 2017, I understand after 1 year that just developing of tests is a little bit boring for me, and I wanted to do something more. I asked my managers to be a part of technical team who develop frameworks, and they agreed. Big thanks to them. And after that, I started working on improving our test frameworks. And I was one of the authors of the second version of our test framework. I checked a few days ago on GitHub, it's still alive, and I'm very happy about it, to be honest. And that time, I got my first expectations. So I wanted to develop what I mean tests. I want to develop some new features. And this thought, this statement, for the first time, came to my mind, that QA automation is the previous step before development. I even had a few conversations with my managers, and I wanted to move to development branch, and they asked me, wait a little, and I started visiting QA meetups, and one of the first QA meetup was from Wrike. So the similar one that we are attending right now. And on this screen, you can see our QA automation manager, Alexander Shurov. He is young, and he will today is the next speaker. So he was talking about test pyramid, about test development, how many tests guys had that time, and also about new test frameworks that they use. As far as I remember, Wrike was one of the users, the first users of HTML elements second. So right now, this is Atlas. And they also told a lot about new approaches and etc. So it was really interesting for me, and I decided to join Wrike. To be honest, this was last chance for me for QA automation. So I just wanted to try for the last time. And when I joined Wrike, I got a lot of interesting tasks. It was, and it is really big product scope. So guys used really modern technologies. They prepared test data for each test separately and run tests in parallel with many threads. It was really interesting and amazing. And the second 2 years were great. Not only because of development tests or interesting technical tasks, because we developed test quarantine, muting, and we integrated Allure test ops. Right now it calls test ops, but that time it was Allure Enterprise Edition, as far as I remember. But also because we had a lot of fun. So it was just the office routine. We worked hard, we played hard, and it was, to be honest, really an amazing time. At the same time, a number of our tests was increasing. Complexity of test framework and test infrastructure was growing up, and it required more and more resources and time for that. And in 2020, I became a technical leader at Wrike. So, and most of my tasks were about test infrastructure, about developing new frameworks, new features from frameworks, and etc. Yeah, and we develop many internal stuff. Let me show you a few examples. For QA tooling, we develop test runners. So we use for test running annotations from Allure library like Apex, Feature Story, and we can filter these tests. Also, we develop more than 15 clients for different internal tooling like TeamCity, Allure Test Ops, Slack, and etc. Maven model merger, Alex in the second presentation will cover this topic a little. So this tool helped us a lot decrease amount of runtime. Decrease runtime of our builds significantly. So also parallel retries, very interesting topic. Right now we are implementing this mechanism, and again it decreased test runtime significantly, but at the same time it decreased stability of our tests. So right now we are looking for a balance between stability and speed of tests. Files generators for our tests, services on Java and Spring Boot for test quarantine, which mutes and unmutes our tests automatically because of bad success rate and etc. Stat collectors, which collect all information about our after test and store in data. And then we use this data for metrics that Sasha will cover in second presentation, mocks and other stuff. Also, we develop many plugins for IntelliJ IDEA to find affected tests. For example, if you change some step, this plugin will find all affected tests, and you need to run all your tests. So you want just to run a special pack of tests. Check my code. We use not only SonarQube for quality of our tests, we also use PMD checks, PMD rules, check my code, or check my style. I don't remember, to be honest, the name of this library. But anyway, a lot of checks for our code. Allure test ops integration for muting and etc. Also, we developed deploy approval tool, which helped us significantly decrease manual work during deploy. So this tool notifies owners about failed tests during deploy, and as I said, reduce manual work. Git for review process decreased time of reviewing, and Sasha again will cover results after this implementation. This tool, many notifications bot, utils, and other stuff. And I want to confess, when we started developing the first tool, we even didn't develop unit tests. It was something new for us. And then when we realized that we need to add new features for our tooling, we understood that without unit tests, we couldn't add new features really fast. And we started developing unit tests. We started using approaches, good practices, patterns, and etc., and developing ourselves in terms of skills for development. So I think this is very important to handle all this infrastructure, all this tooling, skills for development. And you probably won't ask me, where is the answer on this question, Ivan? After a development test on QA automation. And to be honest, my answer will be the following. For me, from my perspective of view, the things are about the same. And it depends on point of view and maturity. Let me explain. When I started my career in this area, I thought that this area and this role is only about automating test cases and just constantly thinking moving to development branch. But then I realized that this is something more difficult, more complicated, and more interesting. And if you need to develop test frameworks and really stable, robust tests, you need to understand all principles, all patterns, and all this stuff. It's not simple as it can seem. You need to be an expert in your environment, in your product. You need to understand how it works really deep, and also provide high quality tooling and infrastructure. So this is my and Wrike's point of view about software developer and tests. And just to summarize, before 2020, I would say my approach was more like automation, and then I understood that this area is deeper, and I realized that there are a lot of opportunities to develop yourself in this area. And develop, I mean, with development skills and all this stuff. So about this statement, I promised that I explain why, in my opinion, this is not true. So I've already said that real good, in my opinion, software developer and test should know the same patterns and skills like developer. Maybe there are some differences, but the core, how to say, the core patterns, maybe the core, the common stuff they should know about development. And also, I want to highlight a few profits, in my opinion, which software developer and tests area has. And the first one, so it's not about critical production code, right? And we can implement new technologies really fast. I want to explain it, and I want to provide a few examples. In 2019, I think, or 2018, we used Unit 4. We had around 20,000 tests, Selenium, and we wanted to migrate to Unit 5. And it was done by one engineer. He didn't refactor all code. He just developed new runners for our tests and code that refactor automatically all this stuff. And it was okay for us. And I think it was really fast. Also, trying new languages. As I said, some of our tooling, they use Kotlin language. Our main language is Java. Also, we have Bash, Python. Python is a different story. Maybe later we'll talk about it. And Scala for performance testing. So this is, in my opinion, a separate, really difficult and deep area of software development test. And if you want to provide really high quality performance test and performance testing, you need to understand really deep your environment, how backend, front end works, how infrastructure between works to be really cool tester in terms of performance. Also mentoring. We are not only about coding. Also, most of our QA automation engineers, they were mentors for QA and QA full stacks. So we have QA automation school, and most of our engineers, they were mentors. So, and we always are happy to answer questions from QA guys about some automation stuff. And as I said before, internal tooling, we had a lot of tooling, and in my opinion, if you want to develop really high quality tests, you need this environment around it. As I said, we had a lot of stuff. We have really cool plans for the future. I think about this tooling and other, and we are hiring software developer and tests. So if you are interested in it, feel free to scan this link, find our vacancy, and apply for that. And I also want to say at the end that we have many tests, we have many runs, and when you have a lot of stuff like this, you need to measure your success rate, you need to measure your duration of test run time, to be able to set new goals, to understand where you right now. And about this stuff will be our next presentation. And that's it from my side. Thank you very guys for your attention. I will be really happy after the second presentation. Thank you very much. We'll be able to answer all your questions. And again, after all these presentations, if you, I don't know, don't agree or have a different opinion, I will be really happy to discuss it. And yeah.